Doing some more work to this 2009 Mazda 6. Going to show you how to replace the tie rod ends. So we'll need to jack up the front end, so go ahead and grab a block and put it behind your rear wheel. So underneath the front end here, go ahead and grab your jack. We're going to jack up right underneath the cross member right there. Go ahead and grab a couple jack stands. You can see I got the other one set up. Going to go right underneath on the pinch weld here. And go ahead and lower it. Go ahead and pull off your hubcap. And we'll go ahead and remove the wheel. This is going to be a 21mm lug nuts. Just go ahead and remove those. Same with this side. So I'm going to start out on the driver's side. So what you want to do to make it easier is go ahead and grab your key. Go ahead and turn it. And then we'll go ahead and turn this all the way to the right. So as you can see, that's why I turned the wheel all the way to the right, give us a little better access to the tie rod end here. And you can see while I'm replacing it, you can see that grease boot is just torn apart. And you can see how rusty this is, so I'm just going to take some WD-40, PB Blast, or whatever you want to use. And we're going to spray this lock nut and then also the threads on the inner tie rod here. Just go ahead and spray that, and we'll let this soak. Same with the nut here for your tie rod end. Let that soak for a few minutes. So what you want to do is grab a 21mm. We need to break free this lock nut, and we're actually going to be tightening it because we want it to go up the threads of this inner tie rod. So with the driver's side, you'll be actually tightening it clockwise. So if you get it on there, turn it, the tie rod will stop itself here, the outer one. And then see if you can break this free. And you can see the whole tie rod is tying with it. So we bring this back down. The inner tie rod's turning with it. So what I'm going to do is get a pair of vice grips on here. I'm going to hold that as I'm turning so this doesn't spin on me. Get you a pair of vice grips, get on there nice and tight. Keep that inner tie rod from turning as you break this nut free. Just get a nice grip on it so you don't slip off. And then I'll go ahead and try to break this free while I'm holding my vice grips. Kind of like that. See, now it's loosening away from the outer tie rod. And that should be enough like that. You just want to break it free from the outer tie rod. So we'll leave that on there like that. Next, we'll go ahead and remove this keeper pin or cotter key here. So what you'll do is just pull on it right here, and then that'll slide out like that. Next, grab a 17mm. We'll go ahead and remove that nut there. Then what you want to do is grab you a little mini sledge here. We're going to hit right here on the steering knuckle, and that vibration should break this tie rod end free from the steering knuckle. Like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and unscrew this old tie rod. But as we do that, we're going to count how many full 360 turns we do until it comes off. And then we'll put the new one on the same amount of turns. So just go like this, go, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So pretty much 21, and we ended up about right there. So 21 full turns. So now let's take a look at our new parts. So I got both of these off of Amazon, and there is the part numbers for the left and the right. These are the Moog, and you can see these are actually made in USA, so that's good. But if you take a look at the old one here, you can just see, like I said, that whole boot is just destroyed. You can see right there. And these ones don't have a greaser on them. So let's see which one's which. So you come with a new castle nut, greaser, and then a cotter pin. And then, yeah, as you can see, so this is the left, so that's marked right there. So this is gonna match up with that one. You can see that's pretty much identical. And that's the part number for the left one, in case you only need replacing one. And then that'll be the part number for the right one. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and get the greaser in now. So go ahead and screw that in. And that's gonna be a 7mm for the greaser size. So grab a 7mm, go ahead and tighten this up. About right there like that. And then before I put the new tie rod in, I'm just gonna take some anti-seize and just coat the threads of this inner tie rod in some anti-seize. And you can go liberal on this because your alignment guy will like you next time. Get this on there. I'll just put some on there as well. So go ahead and stick your new tie rod end on. And if you remember, it was 21 full turns and we started about right here. So go ahead and do that 21 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, right there. So then just to keep that from spinning on you, let's go ahead and stick it in the steering knuckle now. So you may have to just move that a little bit. You can see how much harder that is to move than the old one. Stick this up in there, grab your new castle nut. And get that started on there. So now we can go ahead and tighten this castle nut here. So I looked to try to find a torque spec on this, and I cannot find one anywhere for a 2009 Mazda 6. Normally these are around right around like 35 foot-pounds or so. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this nice and snug and just kind of guesstimate on what the torque would be, right around 35 foot-pounds or so. So get that kind of nice and snug. And then what we need to do is stick this cotter pin through, but you can see the castle nut is right covering up the hole. So what you want to do is just go a little more tighter. You don't want to loosen that. Just go a little more tighter until that clears it. So bring that through, a little more, right there like that. And then you can stick this through. And then you can just bend this upward. Kind of like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and get that lock nut tight there. So again, I'll hold it with my vice grip so that inner tie rod doesn't move. This time we'll be going counterclockwise to tighten that against the outer tie rod. So get that nice and snug. Like that. Then go ahead and get your grease gun. Get on the zerk down there. We'll go ahead and give this a few pumps of grease here. It's about like that. Don't want to go too much because it'll just come out of here. Just wipe that excess grease off so the dirt doesn't collect on it. That's all there is to it. So let's go ahead and do the passenger side. So now that we're doing the passenger side, I'll go ahead and turn the wheel all the way to the left. There. And as you can see, this side is exactly like the other side. I went ahead and sprayed these already, but you can see the grease boot is just torn on this one as well. So now let's go ahead and see if we can break this one free. We'll see if it's going to be the same thing, if I need to get my vice grips to hold that inner tie rod. So again, I'll go ahead and turn it till it stops. See if I can get good grip on this or not. That one is really on there. And it's going to be the same thing. I can see it turning that inner tie rod, so let me tighten this back up. Get my vice grips. And let's see if we can do that now. There we go, like that. Again, just go a little loose so we can get the outer tie rod off. Get your key, or cotter key out of here. Zap that off with your 17mm. Grab your sledge and let's go ahead and separate that. Once again, count how many turns. 1, 20, and right at 20. And then again, you can see how bad this one was too. Again, go ahead and coat those threads in anti-seize. Grab a new tie rod, and again, we were at 20 full turns, starting right here. So there's 1. And 20. So right there, we'll go ahead and stick this up in there. And then I forgot to put my grease zerk on, but that's all right. We can do that afterwards. Let's get that set up in there. Grab your castle nut. Go ahead and tighten that up. Again, just get it nice and snug. Check out your hole here. So let's go a little tighter. I'm thinking right there. Stick that through, bend this upward. Just like there, like that. Go ahead and get your lock nut tight. Go ahead and get your grease zerk in there. Tighten with your 7mm. Grab a grease gun, and let's go ahead and shoot some grease in there. That. Wipe that clean. And there we go, that's all there is to it. So now just go ahead and straighten out your wheel, so we can get the wheel and tires back on here. Then go ahead and get your wheel and tires back on. Once you get both wheels and tires back on, go ahead and jack it back up, and we'll get these jack stands out of here. And then grab your torque wrench, torque your lug nuts to 80 foot-pounds. Get your hubcap back on. Okay, so that's going to wrap up the video. Again, this was a 2009 Mazda 6. Went ahead and replaced both outer tie rod ends. Really simple job to do on these cars. Takes you maybe 30-45 minutes at the most. And you shouldn't have to get an alignment done after this, since we did put them on the same exact amount of turns and everything. But if you start to notice any uneven tire wear or whatever, go ahead and get it in for an alignment. So hopefully this video helps you out. If it does, why don't you subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.